Mhm. Survivor Specialist Phil and Will are back. The offseason has begun. The season 34 cast was just spoiled. All returnees. That's what we're going to. At some point, we're going to mention the boot list. At some point, we're going to mention this awful, weird cast. We might talk a little season 33 if it comes up. But everybody wants to talk about season 34's returnees. We're not going to talk about the season 33 players who are going to be on season 34. So don't even mention them in the comments. Don't mention them anywhere if you know. I know who they are. Will doesn't. But I have a feeling a lot of fans aren't going to want to know going into the season who they're supposed to be rooting for right off the bat. So don't look. Don't tell us. Don't say anything. Yeah, you've been warned.
It's kind of a bummer for all of our fantasy games for 33 that will, eventually happen. There's two players that probably didn't win, I assume didn't win, that are going to be right back. So they probably go pretty far if they're being called back this quickly, playing back season. So hopefully that doesn't, jeopardize all our fantasy games that we play.
See, I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe won. Like I'm not totally counting out that they could still win the game. I mean, there's only 3 winners in this cast, so one of them could win. And I don't really think this spoils anything, just based on the fact that Caleb's on this season, Varner's on this season, Brad Culpepper's on this season. These are all pre-merge boots who are back on this season, and I think that really allows for these two to their names to get out there and it not really be a spoiler. Still, that being said, don't post anything about it because we don't want to talk about it. We're only going to talk about the 18 we know. Plus, there's no reason for us to talk about them because we literally know nothing about them. So we'll only talk about the 18 that we actually know.
Exactly. That sounds good. Yeah, just quick off the bat, this cast is miserable. It can make for a very good season, and I won't be that surprised if it's good. But the chances of it being like a great season, they're going down fast because you look at some of these characters that just like we don't need to see Ozzy again, we don't need to see Cirie again, and even if they do cool stuff, and I'm loving what they're bringing, I'll just have that kind of bitter taste in my mouth. Like, wow, there are so many people I would rather see playing. People that were rumored to be, in the mix for this season that got cut. And that kind of will stick with me the entire season. They're going to have to do some really cool things. Specifically talking about Ozzy and Cirie here, they're going to have to do some amazing things for us not to be like annoyed with them.
I mean, I'll one-up you because I've always disliked this player more than anybody, but Andrea, there's no reason for her to be on the season. We saw her in 22. We saw her in 26. To me, she's been like, yeah, she tried to act like she was a power player in 26, but she wasn't. And I don't need to see her play again. There's more interesting female players that could be on there. What I noticed is it seems like the producers –
who are you more annoyed with that you're seeing again? Is it Ozzy for the 4th time? Is it Cirie for the 4th time? Or is it Andrea for a 3rd time?
All 3 of them are like same level of annoyance. Seriously.
Really?
Okay. Ozzy I'm the most annoyed with. Andrea I'm 2nd most annoyed. And then I'd say Cirie probably 3rd most because Cirie – we really only saw Cirie play twice.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
She didn't really give up anything.
Okay, I'm with you there. Ozzy definitely number 1. Andrea, I've talked about this. It's kind of, I'm kind of, you can take it or leave it with her. And with there being, way fewer females that are, eligible to return that were fun to watch. It's just the way the show is. There are fewer of them. So with Andrea, I can kind of let that slide.
Yeah. Here's what I don't know if everybody noticed this, but I know some people are like, well, Natalie Bolton should have been on and, stuff like that. And I know her name was rumored to be around late into this, and Danny Boatwright and Earl Cole. I don't know if anybody knows this, but every single one of these players played season 20 or later. Every single one of them. So they didn't pull from earlier, and I wonder if they did this purposely because of what happened in Caramoan, where Eric and Corinne found themselves sort of on the outside. Even though they both made it into the game, they found themselves sort of on the outside of all these people who already knew each other. And I wonder if they tried to somewhat avoid that, at least, where all of these people are still relevant and all still kind of, intermingle. I mean, most of these people were at the Price is Right thing, or they were on Co-Wrong. It was one or the other. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah, and you could even point to like second chances where we had a mix of like old people and newer people with more kind of that new school feel with 4 from Cagayan, 3 from San Juan del Sur, and you look who kind of made it to the end and did well. Jeremy, Tasha, Spencer at the end, Kelly Wentworth is right there, Keith. Kimmy made the deepest run, but for the most part, the people that played in those, older seasons, Varner, PG, they didn't do so well. So I see what you're saying there, but the best way to combat that is to just get a bunch of, half new people, half old people, and you don't have to worry about it at all. That's obviously not what they did, which sucks, but we gotta live with that.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get into people that we think could have been replaced by some of these people. I mean, I already kind of, as I'm looking at some of the names, I kind of thought in my head, like, okay, this person's like this person's like this, and not necessarily who they are, who they're like who they are already, but who they're going to be like in this game a little bit. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I'll start right off. If you go with somebody like Sandra, she's going to be like Tina Wesson in All-Stars. People wanted her out immediately. She was the first boot. Everybody was scared of Tina. They saw what she did in the first game. A little bit weaker, so they were like, we can get rid of her. It's not going to hurt our tribe, and we need to get rid of this. That's how I'm feeling on Sandra here. And to me, coming into this season, Sandra's storyline will always be the best one just because she's a two-time winner going up against other people. And I think she's going to be the first boot because they're dumb not to, or the first person voted off her tribe. But, I think that's the best storyline going into this.
Yeah, and we were talking about, Ozzy. I've seen him play too many times, and you're not a fan of it. Andrea, I've seen her play too many times. But there are people that I'm like mad they're on the season, and it's not because I don't like them. It's for people like Sandra, people like Tony, that they're not going to get a fair shot to play their game. And I much would have rather waited for Tony to come back for an all-winter season. Same with Sandra. Maybe that's why Danny and Earl didn't come back. Maybe that was kind of in the mix, or thought maybe we can get half winners or even a third winners or something like that. That obviously didn't happen. We only have 3 so far that we know of. But there's players like that where I'm like, darn, this is not the right time. I didn't want to see you come back either this soon or in this situation. So I'm with you there. Do you want to just go through these players one by one, kind of give our take, talk about how much we don't like them, and then move on to the next one? Does that sound like a good format?
I'll tell you, I actually went through and ranked them from 1 to 9 in terms of if I wanted to see them again. I did do that.
Why 1 to 9? Oh, just male, female?
1 to 9 on guys.
Okay, gotcha.
I'll say you already mentioned Tony and Sandra. Tony and Sandra, they were at the top of my list mainly because they're both winners. Tony plays an insanely aggressive game that is going to be hard for him to make it further. Sandra, she's won twice, so it's going to be hard for her to get far. I want to see if they can pull it off, but I hate that they're on this season. I'm the most excited to see them, but I'm not excited at all to see them on this season. That in any way makes sense. I'm very excited back on my TV screen. I'm not very excited that they have to play on this season. I think they're both going to get screwed, but I hope they can both overcome.
Well, see, that's my problem with it. You're excited to see them on your TV screen, but you're going to see them for like maybe 5 episodes max. And I'd rather see Tony win again. I want him to be a 2-time winner. And the way this season is set up, when you have Culpepper in here, you have, JT playing for a 3rd time, Troyzan. It's like people are going to look at Tony. I know JT won, but like, who are you more afraid of playing against? JT, the good old Southern boy that everyone just liked, or Tony, who literally went nuts, spying, running around, and just outplayed everybody?
Not only that, JT, anybody remembers him for, is not winning. It's giving Russell an immunity idol and ruining his entire game. That's what the last thing people remember JT for. Exactly. And I got no problem with JT being on this season. I'm not a big JT fan. Wasn't a big JT fan in Tocantins. Wasn't a huge Jones. But he plays hard. And I guess that's one thing you can say about us is they're going to come out and they're going to play hard. They really are. That was what made Second Chance good. Hopefully they can play the game hard enough that it makes the season good. Because right now I could give 2 craps about the dynamics.
Right. And I know you have your whole rankings, but you kind of – I didn't rank happy to see him or not because – but how about we – do you think they can improve? Like Brad Culpepper, do we think they can, change? They have a chance at winning, or how do we think they're going to do? I don't know if you want to go into all this now. Obviously, it's way, way far out. We still have season 33 to get to, but we can do that side as well, not just our opinions on the players.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge news right now because I think most people are disappointed. So I think that we can talk about this as much as we want. Nobody's going to care about season 33 until that cast is officially announced. Nobody cares about it going over the season. Really, I think everybody's going to forget about season 34 by the time August rolls around. So I think that we can kind of break out this cast probably again until probably the end of season 33, right? Like I don't think that we're going to bring this up much over the summer. We might bring up that somebody's coming back if we do a winners rankings or a seasons rankings, but I doubt that we're going to be talking about this cast much, so we might as well do it now.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm game. Let's do it.
All right.
Do you want to just do alphabetically because that's what's on Inside Survivor and that's what I'm looking at? Or do you have a better order?
No, that works. You do the alphabetically, and I'll tell everybody where they fit into Phil's fantastical rankings. We'll get through it. I couldn't think of anything else that sounded
okay.
Go ahead.
So the first one we already touched on. That's Andrea. I'm like so on her. You are not a fan. I think she's someone that you don't immediately go, I need to get Andrea out of here. And she could be like a sneaky player who's in control, who comes back, really figures her game out. Maybe someone like Tyson, who won on his third try, finally has things figured out. Even Tyson was a pretty big threat in both of his first two seasons. I know in Heroes vs. Villains didn't go quite his way, but he was always in the game playing. So Andrea might have that experience. She could definitely win. She's definitely someone who might take this one home.
If she could win, she's my number 9 on the female side. She's my least favorite, least excited, all that fun stuff. Here's my problem with Andrea and why I think it's different than Tyson. Andrea came out in season 26 and thought she had it figured out and thought she had it all changed. And that was her Tyson game from Blood versus Water. Tyson's game in Blood versus Water was just better where he could win. Andrea's game outplayed by, and Cochran. She got – so I think that was really Andrea's like turnaround, and it just wasn't enough. I think now people are going to kind of look at her and be like, we got to get rid of her. I don't know what her relationship's like with everybody here. We can get into my caramel and conspiracy theories whenever we want. But I'm just not excited to see Andrea. Could she win? Yeah, absolutely. You're right. She could win. But I think she's going to be a juror yet again.
Right. I that's very possible too. I'm not thrilled to see her play, but she's not someone I look at and go, ugh, get her off my screen, like some of the people we will get to. Like I said, I haven't ranked them, but maybe I'll rank them as I go. So right now, she's the first pro player we talked about, first female we've talked about, so she's, I guess, ranking 1 for female. Let's move to Brad Culpepper. Why? He had a great showing in Blood vs. Water in terms of entertainment and what he brought. He all the lippiness at Redemption Island when Caleb pulled that move in that tribal council where like, look, I'm voting Brad. He's been crossing everybody up, and he really felt bad for that. I think Brad probably learned something from his time out there in Blood vs. Water, that he can't just be this cocky, arrogant guy trying to be in control. So maybe he will come out and be better, but it was such wrapped in a nice little bow the way his story finished on Redemption Island. I don't need to see him again.
Yeah. I got Brad at 8. I got Brad at my 8 on the guy side. Not excited to see Brad. He had a good showing in Blood versus Water, but he was too much. And I don't want to come out here and have him own this season and just talk. He's never going to win this game. He's a strategic player. He thinks he's a really good strategic player. This spot should have been Hayden's. I'm sorry, but this should have been Hayden's from Blood versus Water. If you're going to put somebody from Blood versus Water on, give me Hayden. I would much rather see Hayden. He's much more likable. You're going to get fans more excited to see Hayden. Casual fans as well as super fans are going to be see Hayden. Nobody's excited to see Brad Culpepper. Nobody. Why is he on this season? There's no reason for it. There's really no – and it's just like the fans didn't vote him in when they did the second chance thing. And he was sitting there between Spencer and Joe, who were the 2 most popular at the time, because CBS knew how much of a joke it was that Brad Culpepper was there. Brad Culpepper was the 16th most popular out of the guys. There is no doubt. Have Jim Rice come back, who was also in that voting, or Shane, or Brad Culpepper. God, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, when you look at it in terms of he's taking someone else's spot, it gets way worse.
I hate it.
it's
And
it's not like him on the screen is going. What's that?
I lost you for a second. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying, when you look at it in terms of like he's taking someone else's spot, that makes it seem so much worse than it actually is, because I did on Blood vs. Water, but if you want to talk conspiracy theories, why was he on the fan vote? And then he probably did really poorly in the fan vote for Second Chance. So why is he back here? I think he's like holding something over Survivor. I think he knows something. Something went down on Blood vs. Water. And he's like, I'm going to release this. I'm going to do an AMA on Reddit. I'm going to spoil something about this show that will really tarnish it. And I'm going to do this unless you put me on another season. That's the only explanation that I can think of. And I don't know what happened on Blood vs. Water. I don't know if we had any kind of like rumors and myths, but someone should look into it.
I'm going to tell you why he's doing this. If you're going to go conspiracy theory based, and I'm not even going to call this a conspiracy theory, but I think this might be CBS realizing here's a superstar with a lot of money, big personality. They can put him back on the show. Jeff loved him. And he got like sued, I'm pretty sure, by the NFL after his time on Survivor because he was getting disability or something. And they sued him because he was able to go and perform on Survivor. And they're like, you wouldn't be able to do that if you were actually if you had these disabilities you're claiming to have. Something like that happened. I'm not 100% sure what it is, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is like Survivor's way of saying, like, go ahead, here's another chance. We kind of screwed you. And because it's this huge alpha male, they love Monica. Why not try to help the family out and give Brad a shot? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
I hadn't heard that story, but I think you might have cracked the case. That's why they call us the specialists over here, always figuring out what really is going on behind the scenes. That's 100% true. It has to be. We'll get there. There we go.
I really believe that. Yeah. All right, go ahead. Who's next?
And just to keep it straight, so I have Andrea at number 1, Brad Culpepper at number 2. We have Aubrey next. And
can I ask a question real quick? If you're going in alphabetical order, how is Aubrey after Brad?
Her last name, Aubrey Bracco, Bracco.
Which is before Culpepper, which starts with a C.
I think Inside Survivor they alternated female, male. They just alternated, so it's in alphabetical order by female first, male second. There you go. I'm
gonna keep Inside Survivor to that. I'm gonna hold them to that. All right, go ahead, Aubrey. Okay. Go ahead. You go.
So
first.
I have Culpepper at 1 for the men and Andrea at 2 for the men. Okay. We have Aubrey here. Okay, number 3. I really would like to see Aubrey play again, but this is so dumb having her come back this soon. This is just so dumb. It's she's gonna come right back, and people are like, "Yo, she should have won that game." That's what a lot of people are saying. So she's kind of screwed. It's a bummer. It's almost like Tony. It's just way too soon. Give it a break with these instant returnees.
Here's the only thing that might be working in all of these people's favors. So far, you said Aubrey, you said Sandra, you said Tony. You're gonna look at some of these people like a JT even, or an Ozzy who everybody knows, a Malcolm type thing. There's a lot of threats here. And if one tribe starts losing and one of these Aubrey, Sandra, Tony can sneak by just based on the strength of their own, or the fact that they're not causing the most trouble at their camp. And that could help. So here's what I think about Aubrey. Too soon, but she's almost got like the Amanda vibe thing. Not that Amanda should have won China, but big personality, fan favorite. Granted, Aubrey just lost to the best player to ever play Survivor, so you got to take that into account. You really do. And then she's sitting here coming back onto this season, and are people going to look at her as a huge threat or as the person who lost to Michelle? Because remember, the backlash on Michelle right now is very bad. And when I just said she was the best player ever, I was kidding, just so that all of you don't sit here and say you called her the best player. I was kidding. But the backlash on Michelle right now is very bad. So are people going to look at Aubrey as a threat or think that she's actually not that good of a player because she lost to somebody like Michelle?
Yeah, I don't think people are going to be like, oh, you couldn't beat Michelle. Now I want to take you to the end now, especially after seeing her edit and her story. We saw what Aubrey did. There's so many people making the case that Aubrey should have won because of that backlash. I mean, you can spin it the other way where it's like Aubrey played such a good game. That's why people are mad Michelle ended up winning. I have, for my own rankings, I would rather see Andrea play than Aubrey play because it's just, who would I rather see on my TV any given season? It's Aubrey 10 times out of 10 times. But this could easily ruin Aubrey's entire legacy. She could go out pre-merge and not really do anything wrong, but she's just a threat who played too recently. And people What's that? Right. And if you're out there and you have, let's say, like JT and Aubrey, who do you think's more threatening? The guy who won the game in Heroes vs. Villains, which was, still 6-7 years ago, or Aubrey who's coming fresh off final tribal council, maybe should have won. You're probably saying Aubrey's more threatening, even though JT won the game in a landslide. He got all the votes at the end. So it's like I think that kind of is the way people will be thinking, and that's not good for Aubrey. So I have Aubrey below Andrea on who I'm excited or who I like to see play
on this season.
For the season.
You like? Yes.
Right.
Who
exactly.
you like to see overall? You'd rather see Aubrey, and this is kind of how I did it. I kind of did based on who I'd rather see overall at this point in Survivor. And that's why I have Aubrey at 3, and that's why I have Andrea at 9 because I never wanted to see Andrea play again. I wanted to see Aubrey play again.
Right, but I don't think that's the right way to rank it. And I know you did your rankings, but it's about season 34. Are we happy that they're on this season? I think that's it.
Well, I'm happy Aubrey's on this season. I'm just mad that they put her with a bunch of idiots.
I'm just mad. Why does she need to come back in season 34 when she played in season 32? It's just
because that happens every time there's a returnee season. It happens every time there's a returnee.
But you can Ty. I don't really care because Ty's not going to win the game, and he's entertaining, and people like him. He's fun. That's fine. But Aubrey, who's a real player, who played a great game, came up just a little bit short. Maybe a little controversial of a win from Michelle. Michelle deserved it.
It's Russell.
What's that?
Isn't that kind of like Russell though? And I know they didn't get to see Russell play, but that's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
No, it's the whole thing is they didn't get to see Russell play. That's exactly it.
Okay, I get it.
And that's what Amanda. No one finished China. They didn't know Amanda got to the final 2 in Micronesia. They hadn't seen that, so it's just that's fine. Get them on soon, recency, keep the fans excited. But for someone like Aubrey who has something to prove, something to go back to the game for, and really I need to own this game. I need to get a win this time. This is not the way that she's going to get it done, and it's just way too soon.
Can she pull a Parvati though? Versus Villains, where Parvati came in with the biggest target on her back and made it all the way to the final tribe. And if Aubrey makes it there, she's more likable than Parvati was.
Right, but there's also something to be said about she went from 16 to 20. This is going to be just 2 seasons, and a lot of survivors say, "Man, I wish I hadn't returned so soon." You hear from the ones that waited, I'm so glad I waited. You really have to take a step back and evaluate yourself. It's a huge toll mentally, physically, all that stuff that maybe a year is not enough time to really recover from. And Randy said that he returned to Heroes Villains. He said that was way too soon, and that now he feels ready to come back and he can play. But that was what Gabon was season 17, and that was only 3 seasons behind Heroes vs. Villains. So I don't know. I wish Aubrey had a chance to really have a better chance to win, I guess, because I do like Aubrey, and I think it'd be fun to see her have a great season to play in.
I'll tell you what, if she somehow pulls off the win here, that's a phenomenal win. If she makes it to the final again, or even if she makes final 5 or 6, if she can get control, if her, Sandra, or Tony can somehow get in control of this game, that is unbelievable, and they really do deserve the amount of credit they get. If they can, they deserve it anyway. But if they can get in control of this game, even somebody like Sari, if she can get in control of this game, that's impressive, man. That's really, really impressive. I think right now Sandra, Aubrey, and Tony have the 3 biggest targets on their back coming in.
Right, exactly. It's kind of like the Warriors, down 3-1. If they could somehow win that series against a great Thunder team who just beat the Spurs, it would be insane. Oh wait, they did do that. Wow, the Warriors are great. Wow, insane.
Man, The trolling had started on you on Twitter too, and then it was like, oh wait, the Warriors.
Oh
won.
wait, no, the Warriors just won 3 straight.
Why you would count out a team that won 73 games in the regular season, I'll never know. But this is why,
This is
why
internet.
we didn't respond. Yeah. All right, man. Let's go to the next one. Who you got? Who's up on your list?
Got Caleb Reynolds.
I like it.
Looks like it's by first name. Male, female, male, female. Caleb, I'm in on Caleb. He got really a raw deal. He played so hard. The way he got medevac, he didn't eat himself out of the game like Joe. He didn't do something stupid, like break a mask or jump weird. I don't know. People do dumb things, and they're like even falling in a fire. This was like he just gave it his all, and it was so hot, and he's body failed him. And that's the guy I want to see back. So so far he's number one out of the guys that have so far between him and Brad.
Yeah, he's my number 2 guy. He's my number 2. I am excited to see Caleb back. Aubrey doesn't belong on this type of season. Tony doesn't belong. Caleb belongs on this type of season. It's almost like this works out better for Caleb that he's coming back on a sort of random season where there's going to be bigger targets than him. There's going to be people who really don't know him that well. He gets to come back. He gets to play again. He's a likable guy. And he goes out. He went out in the most epic way since Scoopin did. When Scoopin falls in the fire, Caleb just literally worked himself out of the game. And that was a crazy scene. People aren't going to forget that. I'm excited for him.
And it's pretty sad that your number 2 player you're most excited for is Caleb. Speaks a lot to how terrible this cast is. That Caleb, a guy we barely have seen play, is the number 2 on your list.
That's right on the head, man.
And so for me, he's number 1. He's number 1 out of 2 people. We'll see how long he holds that top spot. Not much else to say.
He might hold it.
He might. He very well could. Sierra Houston. I like Sierra. I like her enough. She was fun on Blood vs. Water. Played hard in Second Chance. Do I need to see her 3 seasons later? Absolutely not. She is, gosh, I got her below Andrea just because we've seen Sierra so recently, and Andrea we haven't seen since 26. At least there's 8 seasons for Andrea, whereas Sierra there's only going to be 3. So my list now goes Andrea, then Sierra, then Aubrey, just because Aubrey might be the bottom. I think she's getting such a raw deal that she might stay at the bottom.
Okay, now can I just ask you though, the way I'm doing it? Out of those 3, can you rank them in the order that you would want to see them on? If you had to pick any season of Survivor and those 3 names came up and they said you got to rank them how you would want them on the season, who would you pick? No matter what kind of season it is. What would be your rank?
I'd probably go Aubrey, Andrea, Sierra out of those 3.
Wow. You're just really not grasping that Andrea's the worst, are you?
I think Andrea has the ability to play a really good game. I think Sierra, we know what we're going to get from Sierra. She was kind of the girl who came out of her shell and lied and voted out her mom, and then she became a witch in Second Chance. She's just going to be that aggressive player who's not afraid to stir the pot, not afraid to say what's on her mind, make big moves, and that's what we get. Andrea, I think she can play a more nuanced game, and has a way better shot at winning, and we haven't seen her so recently. So all those things combined, I'd rather see Andrea play again. And I think Andrea's prettier. I think she's more attractive.
Oh, wrong. Absolutely wrong. I got Sierra number 5. She's right in the middle of the females. I love Sierra. Sierra, Blood vs. Water, one of the best female characters they've ever had on this entire show. Huge Sierra fan. The fact that it's so soon is it's too much. They're using her up too fast. It's like what they did with Russell.
Wait, but I thought you did yours based on not. I thought you did your list based on any given season, and now you're saying too soon.
No. I am doing this based on I'm doing this based on where I'm at with this person in today's Survivor. How much I want to see this person on my screen for Survivor. I don't want to see Andrea on TV anymore. I'm sorry. I know there's Andrea fans out there. I'm just not an Andrea fan. I'm just not one of them. I don't know why.
Which is fine. And that's fine. I just think we're blurring the lines a little. I think it's either rank them how much you want to see them play, and then rank them how much you want to see them play in this season. You're kind of doing both. You're like, well, I like Sierra a lot, but it's too soon. I don't want to see her now. But
because I'm not that excited. I was super excited after Blood versus Water to see her on Second Chance. And now I'm only mediocrely excited to see her play again. It is too soon.
Okay,
but she's ahead of these other women because I'm not excited to see them.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, I hear you.
It was
I do.
Blood versus Water, Sierra. I would say number one female I want to see return from season 26 on. But if you're going based off of you just saw her on Second Chances as well, I almost feel like her story's a little played out. I love Sierra. I'm a huge Sierra. I think her story's just a little played out. I think you hit it on the head where it's like you know what you're going to get from
Sierra. Okay. So we covered Sierra there. Now we have Varner. Again, this is just like give me 3 more seasons, 4 more seasons. Bring him back for season 40. You know? He could be a legend or something. He's such a fun player. Can he even handle it? Can he handle his body? Can it of Survivor? I don't know.
Especially this close.
I have him over Culpepper, but under Caleb. So he's second in my male rankings just because I don't know how many times we're going to say this. It's just like I don't need to see him play these this close together.
Yeah, I hear you. And I got my thing with Varner is, once again, goes back to what I just said from coming into Second Chances, Varner was my number 2 guy, I think. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I had Savage and I had Varner. I was so pumped to see Jeff Varner. I loved Varner in Australia. I loved him in Second Chances. The problem is, I feel like it was about him, and now we're going to bring him back right away, and it's almost like my feeling on it is he could have been my number 1 if I had a little more time to actually gather his Second Chance season. Now all I've had to do is watch Karan. I haven't even had like a chance to really think about Second Chance. Now you have the whole offseason to think about Second Chance. But like Varner, I'm excited to see Varner, but I would be a little bit more excited just if we hadn't just seen him, because it is making me it stops him from being ahead of Caleb is really what it comes down to. Even though we just saw Caleb, I think they finished in the same place, but Caleb didn't get to play the game. Varner really did.
Right. I agree. I can't really talk about Varner anymore or about these kind of second players. Pretty much like the Natalie Boltons of the world, and even people like Earl who've won the game. It's like, can we just get them? We haven't seen them play in so long. They played once. Why are we bringing back Varner for a third time? Sierra for a third time when we've just seen these people play. It truly is pretty.
And here's my question: why are they bringing Sierra back again instead of somebody like T-Bird, who was probably close in that voting to getting brought back on for Second Chance? Is it because they were trying to avoid this huge gap in old season to new season? Like, do you think that they were actually trying to do that? Because to me, that's a little surprising. Supposedly, also. Oh, go ahead. You answer my question. I got to say.
Oh no, I wasn't going to answer.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think we kind of touched on it. They didn't have enough old school players, so they're like, all right, we don't want that to happen. But it would have been cool. Get more old school players. Just do that.
Mm-hmm.
That will cover it.
Yeah. I mean, I know John Carroll and Nolia really want to play again. I mean, they talk about it all the time. So it's not like they can't find them. They can find these people.
Oh, people who go on Survivor, they complain the whole time, say it's the hardest thing they've done. They get right back after a week. They're like, I got to go back. It's like, that was so much fun. That was a life-changing experience. That was a shot for $1 million. There's so many things I could have done better. So many things I did wrong. Give me that one more chance. They could find old school players. That's certainly not the issue. Cirie, I guess, where do I have Cirie? I guess I have her number 1 out of all the people we've talked about. She's played, I don't know, though. It's like, I guess your point that we only seen her play twice, that's what's kind of saving her for my list. If she had made a deeper run in Heroes vs. Villains, she might fall all the way to the bottom for me. She is such a likable player. She's a strategic player, a great player. I would love to see her win. Many people say she's the best player to never win, especially because she kind of got a raw deal out there in Fans vs. Favorites in Micronesia. Wasn't a final 3. If it was, she likely wins. So I'm okay with Cirie. It's just like 4 times. We've seen that happen with Boston Rob. We've seen it happen with Rupert. It does get old.
Here's I have Suri right at number 4, right in between Aubrey above her, Sierra lower. Here's the thing with Suri is it's been 12, and so I'm a little okay with her playing for a fourth time. The other fourth timers, which was Boston Rob, we saw him play in 20, then we saw him play in 22. That's too close together. It was cool to see Boston Rob after season 8 because it was further apart. The same thing happened with Suri going into Heroes versus Villains. I wasn't that excited to see her. We had just seen her 2 out of the last 7 seasons or whatever it was. We'd seen her game in Fans versus Favorites. We'd seen her game all the way to the end in Panama as well. So, like, I wasn't that excited to see her in Heroes versus Villains. I'm a little more excited to see her now because it's 12 seasons later, and we didn't get to see her really play the last time. So it's almost like we're going a full – by the time season 34 comes out, it would be 18 seasons since we really got to see Suri play. And for me, I'm okay with bringing somebody back after that long of a hiatus. I'm okay with it. For a fourth time, if you're going to bring a fourth timer, that one I'm okay with.
Right. And she's the first female to be a 4-time player. No one, I think, is more deserving of that than her. So that's cool. Cool with me. JT.
Agreed.
JT. I'll let you make the I've kind of been talking right after I list their names. Let's hear from you first.
Okay, I got JT at number 6. Was never a big JT fan, bigger Tyson fan, Steven fan, even Brendan. I was a bigger fan of them, never a huge JT fan. Thought he was okay in Heroes versus Villains. He's definitely got a villainous side that I would still like to see come out a little bit more, but I don't know. I mean, see, it's funny because you go with Suri, who I'm excited to see gain length since we saw JT. But that just shows how much I like Suri as compared to how much I like JT. Like, I don't really like the guys, the lineup and I still got JT at number 6. And he hasn't played in a while. It's actually been the longest for him out of everybody on this cast for either, and I'm just not excited.
Yeah, JT won already, and that's kind of my biggest issue with it. It's like if you win Survivor, don't come back unless it's like a really big deal, you know? Come back for Heroes versus Villains, their 20th season. Maybe if there's a Legend series down the road in 40. Go ahead.
All I was going to say is I'm okay with Tony coming back because he hasn't lost yet. And I'm okay with Sandra coming back because she hasn't lost it. With JT, he won and then he lost. Don't come back I just feel like it's weird to come back a third time after losing. Like winning and then losing, it's weird to come back a third time. I don't know. I'm just not big on it. It was weird when Tina did it too, I felt like.
I just think coming back at all after winning it, that should be like you got to pick your battles almost. Like come back like for season 40. Season 40 of the show is going to happen. I know they didn't do anything big for 30. We got Worlds Apart with all newbie cast. But season 40 or Heroes vs. Villains 2, somewhere where it's like, this is special. You know, you were a great winner. I think he was the first unanimous winner, or was Earl? Earl was. But likable guy, fan favorite. Come back for something special. This is just like a random garbage grab bag of a season. Don't stoop down that low. That's kind of my feeling on JT. That being said, out of Brad Culpepper, Caleb, and Varner, I don't mind seeing JT again. He's number 1 for me. I'm not the biggest JT fan, but it has been a while, like you said. He can be a fun character, and like you said, maybe be a villain in some way. Let's see what he can do.
All right. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I know a lot of people are big JT fans. I just hope that he brings something. And he almost should have done what Tom Lessman did. Tom Lessman turned them down so many times. And when they said it's Heroes versus Villains, he was like, all right, I'll do that. And you're 100% right on that. You got to come back for something big. Because this is such a hodgepodge. If Tony, Sandra, and JT lose to these numbskulls, call all these people numbskulls. But, like, we haven't gotten to some of these people yet where, like, you look at them, you're like, oh, my God, they shouldn't be on. If this is considered an all-star season, how is Tony, Sandra, and JT in the same league as half of these other players? And it's really not me insulting the other players. It's just I don't understand it. Why did they come back to lose to these people?
Yeah, you're not insulting Brad Culpepper by saying he's on the same level as Sandra. Don't worry. I don't think anyone's going to hop on you
I call them numbskulls, you know. Somebody will hop on me for saying
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, it's just weird. It's weird that these three come back and they can lose for this. Like they can lose to these players. They can lose to. It's wild.
Okay, we got Debbie next. Where do I even put Debbie?
I got her at 8.
I'm not the biggest Debbie fan. I think she was fun. This is another player where it's like, if I hadn't just seen her, I might have a fonder memory. Like, oh, Debbie from season 32. Now it's season 48.
Yeah,
maybe 5. See what she can do. We just saw the damn lady, and she was fun. She was cool, but it's just she's one of the be like Brad that's just going to get way too much screen time and take away from other players that are probably playing the game better, have a better shot to win, and taking the spot of people like Natalie Bolton that I would much rather see play again. So this, I don't know. I can't even really place her. Maybe she's – I don't even know. Who do I want? She's below Aubrey. So I guess she's at the bottom, honestly. Like, honestly, she's at the bottom for me, Debbie. I don't even dislike her that much.
Debbie should be happy that Andrea's on. No, I just think Debbie should be happy Andrea's on the season because otherwise Debbie would be my bottom. I agree with you. I don't dislike her that much, but I don't need to see her I don't need to see her again. I just saw what her game is, and I didn't really care for it. Like, I didn't mind her as a person. She was this, she was that. But, like, I don't need to see it again. I really just don't. Like, that's like one of the biggest problems when you're doing these second chance type deals or when you do these all-star seasons. And it would happen throughout the seasons. Survivor found personality. They fell in love with it, and they're like, we got to keep home hammering. That's what's going to happen with Debbie. That's what's going to happen with Ty. And I feel like it's going to happen so much with Aubrey, but, like, it very well could if Aubrey ends up making a deep run again in this. Like, they get too in love with, like, the newest hot thing. And we got Russell to death. Most people don't want to see Russell ever play again because of how annoying it was that we saw him 3 out of 4 seasons. And I feel like what they try to do now, it's like we just saw Debbie. She didn't bring anything strategically to the game. Why are we bringing her back again? I just don't. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't like it.
I agree. Let's head to Malcolm, which he is now playing for his 3rd time. And I have no qualms about this. Bring on Malcolm back. Not like the biggest Malcolm fan, but he's entertaining enough, funny enough. Probably doesn't have a chance to win. Way too big of a threat. But when you're out there with Sandra, out there with Tony, someone like JT, Aubrey, and you are somebody like Malcolm and Ozzy's out there, he can sneak by, maybe get something done. Going to be tough, but I'm okay with Malcolm. He's probably number 1 so far for me out of the guys. Like he's someone that was so close in Philippines, tried to make things happen in Caramoan with that getting Philip out and the Three Amigos. That was fun to watch. Bring him back, I guess. I don't know. I don't love the dude, but he's number 1.
Yeah. Malcolm's my number 3. Thank God it's not Joe. That's all I'm saying. Thank God it is not Joe. Malcolm got a raw deal once again in Caramel. So I'm fine with it. He played and we got to see the Three Amigos and he had that cool move getting rid of Philip, but he was screwed from the start of that season. Even though nobody had seen his season, he had no chance at all that season. Just not. There was just no way he was going to win that. So I don't have a problem with it. He was on the outside looking in the entire time there. Let's see what happens. Like you said, he took a step back. You said that with it's easier when you go a few seasons down the road. He gets to take a step back and say, okay, I haven't played in 8 seasons. Let's see what I can do now. So I'm okay with Malcolm. I like Malcolm.
Cool. In agreement with Malcolm. We then have Haley, which she's number 1 female. I assume she's number 1 for you because she's your icon. My banner for some reason cannot work, but I love Haley. Bring Haley back 100 times in a row out of 100 seasons. She's a joy to watch. Great one-liners, great confessionals. Maybe has a chance of winning. I don't know. It'd be maybe similar to a Michelle win potentially, with their kind of voices and accents potentially. But they're socially smart.
Thanks, dude.
That's right. Number 1.
She's the only one I got ahead of her is Sandra. And just because I want to see how the hell Sandra's going to play on this season. I love Haley. I don't know if we're in the minority here on Haley. I don't know if like a lot of people don't like Haley. I loved Haley in Worlds Apart. I like her a lot. Now I'm excited she's coming back. This is the type of person they should be bringing back. She made it sort of far. She just got stuck on the wrong side of the numbers. She was socially aware. She was strategically aware. She was physically aware. And she just did not make it. They bring her back 4 seasons later. I'm okay with it. This is somebody that I like that they're bringing back. Not a huge personality. Could be very middle of the road. She could fall to Invisible. But whatever ends up happening, I'm glad they gave her a second chance. This should have been Natalie Bolton however many seasons ago. You know what I'm saying? Like Haley and Natalie Bolton, they're similar to me, where they weren't huge on their season. They were big enough. Not saying personality-wise with villainous and stuff.
Oh, I'm just saying Natalie.
In terms of screen time,
I just think Natalie Bolton was way more present, had a bigger character, bigger moments. Haley was kind of there, and what you saw of her, what little of you saw of her, was good, and it was fun. I don't totally see it, but I agree with you completely. I'm on Haley. I'm rooting for her to win. That's my first impression. I was scrolling through this cast, like on this very page that I'm looking at now, and I saw the top 4: Andrea, Brad, Audrey, Kael. I'm like, yuck. Then Sierra, Jeff, Sari, JT, yuck. Debbie, Malcolm, Haley, thank you. The first person, I'm like, oh, awesome. Like it took, 10 people. She's the 11th person on this list to be like, oh, cool. I'm glad she's getting another shot at it. Anything more on Haley?
Huge Haley fan.
Huge Haley guy. Ozzy. You got Ozzy. I think Ozzy's going straight to the bottom for me. He wasn't even that bad in South Pacific. It's kind of what I said about Sierra. Just what you're getting from Sierra. I think we know what we're getting from Ozzy, right? Is he really going to change all that much?
Yeah. I know. I'm just not a fan, man. He ate up a lot of the screen time in South Pacific. He was a dominant challenge piece. Like, I get it. Honestly, and I don't know what everybody's thinking. I don't know if you want to get into this whole what are these tribes going to be like. I hope it's men versus women. Because I would, if Ozzy, the only way that I think it's worthwhile is if him and Malcolm are on the same tribe. Because I think they'd be fun to watch together.
Yeah. I don't know.
Otherwise, I don't care about Ozzy.
We can do this later, maybe after, if we're up for it and we have time, break down these tribes with the theory that it is kind of legends versus up and coming, or legends versus second chance, or something to that. He would definitely be on a legends tribe. I would assume Malcolm would be also. So they would get tribites there. But yeah, he's bottom of the list for me. I think we talked enough about Ozzy already. Let's jump to Ty. We're gonna hit we're what?
We're supposed to go to women.
I mean, it's true. It has been alternating. I mean, maybe they're not in any order. But Inside Survivor, they're all alternating.
They can't do their ABCs.
They can't. They messed this up because we're at Ty right now. It's in the order because it's from here on out. It's alternating men and women. Ty. We can't talk about this anymore. I don't even want to say it, but too soon. I'll just say that.
He's my number 7.
I'm more okay with seeing him because he is like a tertiary character who's going to just provide entertainment as opposed to like controlling the game. And I know he had idols and advantages. Ty was never in control of Ko-Rong. He was all over the place. That's a player, someone like Keith. I'm like, all right, bring him back soon enough. That's fine. I don't really care as much as I care with someone like Aubrey. What do I
Him and Debbie are the same to me. They're the same.
Yeah, I think I like Ty a little bit more than Debbie, but we did see a lot of Ty, and we just saw a lot of Ty. I don't need to rank all these players. I'll just give my opinion. Just very, very about the whole cast. Very about Ty.
About life.
No, not about life. About the cast.
Oh, okay. I thought we were getting sad. Okay, who you got next? I think I know who it is.
It's Sandra.
Yeah, I got her at number 1. Although she should have waited to come back for a Legends, but
exactly.
I'm okay with her playing, though.
If we're giving JT grief about coming back for a garbage season,
But JT lost.
We got to triple that up on Sandra for being a 2-time winner, the only 2-time winner to come back on just we don't know what this season's called. If it is called Legends versus something, maybe give her a little bit more credit. But you can't pick 10 legends so far on this out of this cast. There are not 10 people who are considered legends.
Can I try?
You can try. You're gonna fail, but go for it, Phil.
Let me try. I just want to see how many I can actually get. Sandra.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yep.
Malcolm
and Ozzy. That's 4. Sari, 5.
Sari. Sierra, they're probably counting. That's 6.
I go JT first. JT is 6.
Okay. Oh, JT was going to be on there. Then I was going to say Sierra.
Okay, 7.
I was just trying to do a woman. 7. Okay, who else could be a legend? Ty. Let's see.
Maybe.
Could we? Ty. Are they going to throw Debbie on as a legend?
No, they can't. Anyway,
Aubrey?
I mean,
She
no,
lost.
you're not a legend. No, you don't lose once and be a legend. That's the problem with it. So, Sandra, come back. Yeah, come back for us in a time where you have a chance at doing a three-peat, not at a time where you're with a bunch of scrubs that are just going to easily vote you out.
Do you think that this is like Sandra's way to troll the world, though? Like she's coming on and she's going to go on here with like all these people who are less a target, and it's to play that anybody but me game and win.
Yeah, I mean she's going to play her game and she's going to try to win. I just think people are more aware of it now. She's done it twice. You have to be more aware of it now. She could easily play the card. Look, I've won twice. No one is going to want me to go far. Let me use me as a vote until the merge. And then she says, take me to 7. Take me to 7. Mm-hmm. No one's going to want to sit next to me. And then before you know it, she wins final immunity at final 4 or final 5 even. We have our first final 4 ever. And people are like, let's make Sandra win this game. And that could happen. Doubtful.
Dude.
Absolutely doubtful.
But I can hear her speech. I can hear her on day 1 saying, guys, I won twice. Nobody's voting for me to win. I'll use me as a number. She is so freaking good at that. But it's going to be cool to see. I hope her and Sari are on the same tribe.
But
I really do, 'cause I want to see them both play that game.
But how quick we're saying this now, when people see Sandra out there, they're like, no, we are not falling for this. We are not. Even someone like Brad Culpepper, even someone like Troyzan, even Ty would probably be like, no, Sandra, we don't want to play with you. Like, even he wouldn't. It's too obvious. So Sandra goes, she's number 9. I have her the opposite position.
I'm so excited to see Sandra play because I want to see if she can do it. I really want to see if she can.
She won't. I mean, I don't want her legacy. Like, I don't want her to be the 2-time winner that gets like booted first, second, or third. Like, that's just it. It's honestly like you have someone like Sandra who has played twice, won twice. She should be like, if we want to look at the game we love, Survivor, and say this game takes skill. I mean, clearly there's luck involved. There's luck in any game that you really play, aside from chess or something. But in most games, there is a little bit of luck. To have her just be like done by episode 2, it's like, she's the best you got. She's your only 2-time winner, someone that couldn't get past the first immunity challenge that she lost. That's all I'm saying.
I'm pumped. Who's next?
We got Tony. I love Tony, but
also number 1.
This is just he might be number 9. I love him so much that I don't want him coming back on a season like this. It's the same thing with Sandra, same thing with JT, same thing with Aubrey. Why are you coming back for a season we're about to get to Sierra from Worlds Apart. We're about to get to Troyzan. Like this, we talked about Brad Culpepper. Caleb's on it because he only got medevac. Like, you're playing, this is not who you deserve to be playing with if you are coming back. You look at someone like Tom Westman who just comes back for Heroes vs. Villains. It just is so much better. Even people play 3, like Parvati. She wins Micronesia. She comes back for Heroes vs. Villains as a villain. Poor Tony, man. I mean, I love the guy.
I'm excited to see Tony and Sandra. I'm excited to see both of them. right now, I think their storylines are the most interesting of can they actually pull this off on a season where there are so many non-threats. And to me, Andrew and Tony won the two hardest seasons of Survivor to win. Absolute mess. And Heroes versus Villains was just insane. That whole pre-merge, just for Sandra to survive that, is mind-blowing. So I believe that they won the two hardest seasons. And interested. Do I think they should have came back for this season? No. But I'm excited to see both of them play again. I am very excited. I think their storylines are the most of. Everybody knows that you are the two best players out on that island. How the hell are you going to do this again?
Because it's so obvious, the chances of them answering that question in a way that's satisfying to the viewer, it's just so low.
Dude,
that
there's idols nowadays. Tony's a nutcase. Tony can find every idol. He can find 15 idols. Be running around the island with 15 idols.
Yeah, he runs around. He finds an idol on his pre-merge tribe, which there will be only one idol. Let's say he finds it. They're going to flush it immediately. He doesn't have it. I mean, and look, I'm not saying he has no chance, but it's like I don't want to see a season where his chances are so stacked. The deck is so stacked against him. You know, I want to see him out there with Earl. I want to see him out there, you know, with Brian Heidick maybe, who said he'd play again. I want to see him out there with Danny Boatwright, Natalie Anderson on an all-winner season, which could easily happen 5 years down the road, maybe even sooner. And it's not like Tony got to pick the format of the season. I get that. But if I'm speaking as an honest Survivor fan, having Sandra and Tony back, it does tick me off a little bit because the deck is so heavily stacked against them. And like you're saying, it's like you have to, for someone to make the best comeback in sports, they have to be down that much. And I guess I can talk about the Warriors. It was one of the most satisfying things to be down 3-1 to OKC and then win. Awesome. But you don't want to start out down 3-1, you know, and that's what they're getting themselves into.
It's happened before, though. It's happened. Now let's go to Tony's nemesis, who only got cast on this season because of Tony.
just all right, Sarah. Cool. I think the whole cop thing, her vote out at Cagayan, did not see this. I didn't see her come back. It was just like everything.
The best vote out of all time.
Yeah, everything was settled so perfectly, so cleanly. So it's like Brad Culpepper, how Caleb just like, no, Brad, you're done. And he gets in fights and then he has to lose her. Everything was ended with these people's stories that are now coming back. I mean, I don't hate her. I don't really know her well enough. It's just, man, we're almost through this cast. It's taking its toll on me. I mean, I'm really starting to just get mad.
Well, we'll take a pause for the boot list soon.
We're gonna take a pause with two people left. Come on, let's kill this.
I meant after, dude. Before we get into the comments, go ahead. I'm a huge Troyzan guy. Huge Troyzan guy.
Well, you didn't talk about Sarah at all, so give us your thoughts on Sarah.
I don't care. She's number 6.
Yeah,
she
exactly.
Got casted.
She's just like,
I have her at 6 because Sierra, Debbie, and Andrea are on the season. And I have her ahead of Debbie just because Sarah's been longer away and she wasn't as obnoxious as Debbie was. And Andrea, I have a vendetta against. I mean, so Sarah, everybody that – when I said that I had Sierra Easton at number 5, I have her ahead of Sarah, Sierra, Debbie, and Andrea. I mean, it's not because I'm super excited to see Sierra play again. It's because, like, oh, my God. This is what they put in front of her. This is the best you could do. Are you happy with this choice? You know what I'm saying? Like, come
on. Right. Troyzan. I mean, I'm not the biggest Troyzan fan. I've said that before. One World is just burning garbage. It's just the worst. I rewatched Caramoan and I could get through it. I rewatched Redemption Island. I finished it. I rewatched South Pacific. I could get through it. I could not finish One World. I could not. I was like, the next episode went on autoplay on Amazon Prime, and I just closed my laptop and I don't know, probably got something to eat, never returned to it. It was so bad. I did not care about anything about that season. Although it did have the best moment in Survivor history when Troyzan said, "This is my island." I forgot about that. That is the all-time. What was that ranked in the magazine again?
It was like top 8.
Ugh.
Here's my. I am down to see Troyzan again. I got him at number 5, right in the middle. He's a character. He's loud. He's obnoxious. But it's going to have been 10 seasons before we see him play again. And to be fair to Troyzan, yeah, he was an idiot, but he was the least idiot out of every one of those guys. Those guys on that season were a travesty. So he gets stuck on a tribe with Jay, who is the dumbest player to ever play this game. And Troyzan had to do what he could do. There was no way he was breaking into that girls' alliance. The girls were just so tight-knit. You couldn't convince Kat of anything, even though he was spot on with what happened to Kat. You weren't going to pull Sabrina, Chelsea, and Kim apart. And Christina was just like, duh. Awful, awful season. It's just an awful season. I said it with Haley. I'll say it with Troyzan. This is the type of season Troyzan should be on. Like one of those seasons where you sit there and go, what the hell is this? How did they put this group together? If you're going to give Troyzan a second chance, I'm glad it's now.
I hear you. Troyzan fits like the hodgepodgeness of this season, and I'm okay with that. I don't want One World really to be influencing any future Survivor seasons, and the spot could have gone to somebody much better, like Jim Rice. So it is, I don't know, it's not the worst thing, and maybe he can be better. You did a good job explaining kind of his time on One World, so I don't really want to talk about him any much more. Ciara Dawn Thomas, someone that I didn't mind on Worlds Apart, but I can't name one reason that she needs to play again, that she did something in season 30 that warrants her to have a second chance. What did she do, Phil?
Nothing. Absolutely. Supposedly Natalie Anderson dropped out, and that's why Ciara's on the season.
That was that was their backup.
Somehow the backup to Natalie Anderson was Ciara. Makes no sense at all. You go from a winner a lot of people would like to see play again to somebody 90% of people aren't even going to know was on the season. This is Amber all over again. This is Amber. There's no way they should have been on a second season. But she's not threatening at all. She's good looking. I mean, Ciara could win the game, as sad as that is.
Right, yeah. She's probably in the top half of likely winners here. I know some people are going to toss out the Kelly Wentworth argument. Oh, Kelly Wentworth, she didn't do much on her first season. She came back and was a superstar, got 4th place, fan favorite. Ciara got to the final 5 of her season, right? Final 5, final 6. She made a deep run. And she still didn't provide anything. So she was in about twice as many episodes as Kelly Wentworth was in their original runs and their first seasons, and she only probably provided the same amount of entertainment. Hopefully she brings it. That's all you just got to hope we get a different side of Ciara.
It feels almost like a Candace type thing. You know what I mean? Where it was like, oh, she's coming back. I mean, Candace was a character in Cook Islands. She's the hero on versus villains. Danielle Lorenzo's a villain on Heroes versus Villains. Like, that's what this feels like to me. I mean, and
yeah, Candace did
miles above Ciara. Yeah, those two are miles above Ciara because they were also coming into Heroes versus Villains. I'm confused how Ciara got asked for this. And this is the nightmare. And I'm confused.
And this is nothing against Ciara personally. She's a player that I would have liked to see more during her edit, but you watch the secret scenes, she wasn't bringing it in the confessionals. She wasn't.
I'm shocked that she's back.
That's the cast. Not the most exciting cast. We're not going to get into the season 33 people because I don't want to know. I know Phil loves spoilers. He wants to get edge on me in fantasy as much as possible. So he's been digging up those names.
But we have to look at season 33 for one thing, because Adam Klein won our bootless game with 62 points. And supposedly that is the Adam Klein. It could be the Adam Klein. If it's the Adam Klein
of season 33.
He won 2 seasons in a row, and now he's going to be on season 33. Therefore, Adam Klein, you cannot enter for season 33 if you are Adam Klein. We will know if it's you. We'll change your name. But that's awesome. He won. Second place, the only other buff going out, there's a lot of people with 80 points, and there was only one other person under 80. And they had 76, and it was Angus J. And he pretty much got all of his points he got like 14 from Aubrey and still ended up getting second place because he was so spot on with pretty much everything else. His winner pick was Anna, and he still got second place. That's how spot on he was. So good for you, Angus J. Good for you.
Yeah, we got to get those out. We owe somebody from last season who is in Germany. The international shipping is pretty nuts, so we're gonna have to, I don't know, send a gift card or something like that. That won't completely make us broke. Let's get into comments here. I have them up on my phone actually.
I got Twitter if you want me to go.
Oh yeah, you do Twitter. I have the YouTube ones close by,
okay.
Or at least ones that aren't that long. So let's do it. Go.
Ted McCormick, hate the 34 cast. Why bring back only 3 winners that can get picked off immediately? Brad is not going to want a second repeat winner. Sarah is going to be annoyed by Tony. What are Haley, Sierra, Troyzan, Andrea, and Brad going to bring? Haley's going to bring a lot. I think Troyzan could even bring a lot.
Don't lump Haley in there. Yeah. You can lump Troyzan there if you want. Don't lump Haley in there.
Yeah, don't lump Haley in there. Haley is leagues above those other 4. My thing is, though, Troyzan's probably going to bring something to this season. He brought something to One World. Whether it be the fact that he compared himself to – I will take that type of delusionment on Survivor all the time because you need one of those guys. The problem is when that delusional person is the most intelligent male on your season. That's when you have problems.
Right.
So I think Troyzan can bring it this season.
That's fair.
Thank you. Ted McCormick, isn't it unfair that no one will have seen the season 33 players before with them, like Russell, not that they are? I mean, it happens a lot.
It happens, and it can hurt you where, we don't know what he can bring. So he's the devil. We don't know. Got to get rid of him. Or it can be like, oh, no one knows how they play. Their secrets aren't out. Their play style isn't out. Their lying ability, maybe their faults, they don't come to fruition. Or they don't come to the surface. So it's like it doesn't really have negative one way.
I'll say the only time that it really was somebody was Malcolm, and he still made it to final 8 or 9. So I don't think it really, and it starts. So I think it's all right.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah,
especially if they're fun, good players, because this season could really use it.
Yeah, agreed. Morgan, the only dynamic I'm interested in is Sarah and Tony. I mean, probably Debbie and Aubrey could be somewhat interesting considering what went down with them. Ty and Caleb, I mean, come on. If Ty and Caleb are on the same tribe, that'll be adorable. But, yeah, otherwise, I don't really care. I mean, I want to see how Sandra interacts with everybody. What the hell is she going to do?
Lose.
Probably. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm trying to find.
Spit it out, Phil.
I'm trying to find ones that are relevant and not just oh, you guys are. Oh, here we go. And Curtis, why isn't hated on season 34? I also guess Probst doesn't change his mind about Benry not returning. Yes, I asked him about it. And Curtis, you asked Probst about that, and Probst answered you?
I wouldn't be surprised. She's a huge Benry fan. Maybe tweeted at him a bunch of times.
Okay.
He was like, yo, lady, chill on Benry. He's not coming back. Maybe that happened.
But Hayden, I mean, I'm surprised at Hayden. I really am. He was it seemed like everybody liked him. Hayden and Caleb, man, they should have been on the same tribe.
That could have been
So we'll
cool.
just have a big brother season.
Yeah.
Christ. Let's see. And Curtis, I'm happy to see Malcolm, Caleb, Aubrey, and Sarah the most. Sarah is the most underrated player in my opinion. Woo! Go back and rewatch the Merge episode of Cagayan. There's no way to rate her other than bad.
I don't know. It was a pretty unique circumstance that did end up getting her off. If she survives that vote, she is in somewhat of a power position. I mean, at least she's good with the majority, whichever way the majority went. Definitely not her best episode because she did get booted, but
Yeah.
I'm just very like whatever about Sarah. I don't have a problem with her, but I'm not excited.
My problem is I was so high on her that then like she came out and like, yeah, she was fun and she was okay, but like Tony just ran circles around her and really kind of ruined her a little bit. So yeah, you know what? It might be okay to see her back on the season. Maybe we can get a little bit better out of her. And Curtis, again, hopefully this gives Sarah some much needed love, but I fear they only brought her back because of Tony. It's kind of what we're thinking, but. You there, Will? You nodding? I can't.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't say anything. I'm here though.
Okay. All right. Giovanni Oriana, Penner needs to come back. He's a great character, an interesting character, more interesting than Troy, Brad, and Ozzy. I mean, I don't need to see Penner again, but I would take him over Ozzy 100%.
Yeah, Penner's someone that I would not want to see on this season, but if we got a legend season down the road, I'd see him. Or like an All-Stars 2, Heroes vs. Villains 2. Winners versus jurors, just any type of specialness. I don't know what they're going to name the season, but with the cast, it can't be special. And if they name it something special, it's a lie. So,
yeah. Trey Corby, I think worst cast member to play again is Sandra because she took someone's spot when she knows she won't win again. I don't know about that. I don't know. You know, it's like, what are you going to do? It's happened now. Giovanni Oriana. Do you think Debbie, Caleb, Aubrey, and Ty will be targeted because they could be very tight?
I don't know. I don't think there's any really co-wrong meshing. I don't know. Aubrey and Ty, yeah, they work together, but Ty he loves everybody, especially with Caleb out there. Debbie and Caleb, they didn't even get to know each other. So, I don't know, Aubrey and Debbie, they kind of had a falling out. You know, they don't all love each other.
Yeah. Giovanni Oriana, I think Sarah will overplay. I could almost see her coming out like Andrea did in Caramo and trying like a little too hard and then kind of backing yourself into a corner just a bit because you're trying to prove yourself after a not very good season. Let's see. Giovanni Oriana, why do you think Sierra and Jeff are getting an
I did not hear the end of that question.
Why do you think that Jeff and Sierra are getting another shot?
Because Jeff was very entertaining. Very entertaining. And Sierra, I mean, fans like her. She's got a bite to her, got a personality to her. And she's recent, I guess. I wish I had a better answer. I wish I had a better answer for this entire cast. I don't.
Yeah. Will Malcolm end up in a similar situation like Joe was in Cambodia? Malcolm was never that great at challenges, so I don't think so.
Yeah, Joe has that really unique, like, okay, if that dude loses, we're all on board. He's out, even if you're in his alliance. Like, yeah, okay, we're good.
That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Do you think Ozzy is on the season because they need as many strong guys as possible? And that's interesting because the only person who's really not a strength threat at all is Varner. Every one of these other guys, I mean, they even showed Ty a little bit last season being strong. Varner's like the only one out here who like isn't strong.
Yeah, I don't think that's why they have Ozzy. They have Ozzy because he's extremely recognizable. Fans love him. And why not bring him back if you have people that are going to tune in, see him in a preview during football, or I guess this won't be during football season. This is so far down the line.
Yeah.
But see him say, hey, Ozzy's back. I got to watch Ozzy. I remember him climbing the coconut tree in the race this season. That's what people will think. That's what CBS wants.
Yeah. Giovanni, one last time. Famous fan favorites versus what the hell are these people doing here? I mean,
that would be funny.
I don't know what this is going to be.
I'm excited. Excited to see what this team is.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they can even come up with. Because it can't be all-stars. Harold writes, can you do a podcast where you cast for an all-star season better than 34, no limitations at all? I mean, we don't even have to do a podcast. We just have to name Survivor players, and we could make a cast better than this one.
You could draw random people out of a hat. You can take from the whole pool of castaways, people pre-merge from Africa, and it will be better than this cast. It could be the entire cast of Karamoan, and I would still rather see them play again and see like how it happens, how it shakes out. Does Francesca get voted off first for a third time in a row? Does Philip tone it down, kind of realize he's turning people off? Does Cochran become a threat now that he already won? I would rather see that. It'd be interesting. That could be fun. That could be fun that we draw people out of a hat and then try to put them on tribes. That could be a good time.
Be better. You write all 400 names down on the piece of paper.
Well, we would use the internet, obviously, in some way.
Okay, I got you. Larry Miller, can I say how much I hate Ozzy? He's too cocky and a whiner. And lastly, did you know he's in a porn show? I did not know that, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not. I mean, I don't hate him. I'm just not excited to see him play again. Let's see. Trey Corby. Do you guys think this could be duos or rivals? I mean, this cast, Haley and Sierra, Aubrey Debbie, Andrea Malcolm, but then Troy and Jeff are out of the picture.
Yeah, Troy saying doesn't have a duo or rival. So.
Yeah.
Very, very tough.
Giovanni, what's the filming dates for 34? Does that mean Aubrey and Ty are screwed?
I think they're going out like now, or they just left or something.
You got to remember too, Aubrey and Ty, they've had a full year off. They haven't played in a really long time because they were the last season, they shot all the way back in like last spring. So they've had a while.
It's true. Still recent though.
Yeah. Giovanni, one last time. I think Debbie will be like coach in Heroes versus Villains. I mean, maybe, but I don't think that anybody here is going to really call her out so much as that. Harold Rice from Worlds Apart. I think Jeff looks at her as almost like a quitter. Right?
Who? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Jen from Worlds Apart.
Yeah, I would have rather seen Jen than Sierra, than the other Sierra, than Sarah, than Sari. All those names together.
Yeah.
So, someone mentioned on Reddit how we have 4 SC names, like they're all with R's, and it's like very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. When they vote out Sierra, if they're on the same tribe, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Dude, chill. Just chill. My God, just stop. My God, so annoying. Trey Corby, just curious if Ty found a new Mark the Chicken, but just for fun, do you think Mark can make it happen this second time around? Do you think that Ty will find another animal to just hang out with?
You know what? If he did, that'd be fine. I'd be down with it. It wouldn't be too much. It wouldn't be annoying. It'd be really cool. If it's forced, that's lame. But if it happens and he's got a buddy, I'm all in.
Yeah. Trey Corby, do you think this will go down as the worst all-returnee season in history as of now? the worst casted all returning season by far. It'll be better than All Stars for sure. I don't know if it's going to be on Heroes versus Villains or Second Chance level, but I hope.
I mean, I liked All Stars. I enjoyed that season. Maybe it will be better, but it's got a lot to live up to with Second Chance and Heroes vs. Villains. It's going to be really tough to top those two.
Yeah. Just like fun facts. If you threaten us, we're not going to acknowledge you as people. Stop threatening us. Giovanni, Trey coiled Sierra and Ozzy because of the Price is Right primetime special. Fan favorites were Ozzy and Sierra. So that was spoiled. I did watch the Price is Right thing. That was kind of fun. We both watched it, actually. Interesting. And it was weird that they had Sierra and Ozzy both up there doing the little showcase thing.
That's right. Is it possible we have legends versus favorites or something versus favorites?
We could, but I don't know what it's going to be. And they can't call this All-Stars because these are not All-Stars.
They're not. Sierra Townsend or Towns, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Not an All-Star.
Yeah. And Austin Harper, is Julia really on season 34? No, but she would be better than most of the people on this season.
Oh, much better. I'd wait. And she's someone who could really just come back and still nice for her. Someone that young to get a couple more years of just life experience under their belt, but also just post-Survivor life experience. She could still come back. I like Julia.
Now, here, let me ask you one here. They bring back Jeff Varner. Why do you think they didn't bring back Terry, or do you think that they even asked Terry, considering what happened with him really losing his second chance?
I don't know. We already have a spot taken up by Caleb, so if you're going to go for a sympathy, they deserve it, kind of got screwed, you can't have too many of those, or else your whole season is people that weren't on the season that long and people that you're not basing their return on what they brought to the show, their entertainment, their game, all that stuff. And that's when you're getting a pretty dull cast. So I don't think they asked Terry. Maybe he'll come back later. If there is a Legends, Terry still with his, immunity run and his final three, not final three, but his third place finish in Panama, that's still worthy. He could come back on a Legend season. A lot of times we think, oh, this person didn't get brought back. That means they'll never be brought back. That is not the case. So still hope there for Terry.
Agreed. He definitely could come back, just especially because of the way he went out, because of all that. He could definitely come back. All right, man, you want to do YouTube?
Let's do the YouTubes. I got them on my phone. I think we have a good amount. So we have Gus Schultz. Betsy Mrs. Colby.
Betsy?
I don't know, but she misses Colby. So there's that. We have Mike Toll. Really, really wanted to see Danny Boatwright. Oh, well, hoping for all winners season in a few years. I could not agree more. And Danny has been the most vocal winner about only returning if it is all winners. So do you think that was because she was in the rumors? Do you think there was even a chance of that happening?
I think it would have been winners versus winners versus somebody else. I think that there was a point. They had Natalie Anderson, they had Earl, they had Danny, they had Tony, Sandra, JT.
Mike.
That's 7 or 6. Mike, 7. There you go. I knew there were 7 somewhere. They probably were digging around a little bit, probably trying to find somebody. Maybe they were going to do a whole tribe of winners, but it just didn't work out. Even if they did 6, 6, and 6, you know what I mean, for an 18-person season.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
We have, let's see, Mike Toll. Not keen at all on Ty and Debbie. I'm super scared that all the screen time will be eaten up by Tony and Ty. I don't really mind if Tony eats up a lot of screen time. If he's in the game, give him as much screen time as he wants. Ty, on the other hand, I do share Mike Toll's concerns.
Agreed. I'm okay with Tony eating up some screen. There's so many people that can eat up screen time here, so it's okay.
Right. Early winner pick is Haley. That's what Mike Toll says. So he kind of just jumped on the Haley with us. I don't know when he commented this, but Haley is not only she's a person that can win. I don't think she will, but she's like who I want to win. I want her to go into the season and somehow win. That's pretty much just because I'm one of the few people I'm like, yes, we're get to see someone like her play again. Let's see. We have Mr. Justin Poland. Just started, and the person I'm most annoyed about is Brad Culpepper. I'm not the most annoyed about him, but we've talked about him. Halen Toby. I really hope Sandra, Sarah, or Haley win. Don't want Ozzy to even make a tribe swap. Wouldn't that be kind of fun though? All the people we don't like Ozzy and you for Andrea. They just get booted quickly, and we're left with, I don't know, people we kind of sort of don't hate.
And that's okay. I mean, it all comes down to what actually happens on the season. It doesn't matter so much, like the preseason stuff and everything. Like Terry got pre-merge in a crappy way, and I was so high on Terry. Savage goes out right at the beginning of the merge. We got a lot of Savage, but he was kind of an idiot. Jeff Varner goes out pre-merge. We lost a lot of my favorites for second chances that I really wanted to see. And at the end, we were stuck with Kimmy and Keith and, Tasha, who I wasn't big on. That's still a fantastic season to me. So it just has to be good gameplay throughout. I'm just not excited to see these people play again for the most part.
Right. In agreement there. We have Cooper and the Goons. Please explain to me how Sierra Dawn Thomas gets a second chance before other Worlds Apart members, Mike, who he won, whatever about Mike. Mama C. I'd see Mama C. Rodney, for sure. Dan, Jen, Max, or even Vince. Seriously, what the hell are they giving her? Comment cuts off, but I think we get the point.
No, I get it. Seriously, what the hell are they doing giving her another chance? At least Wentworth had potential. Sierra went deep and was a non-factor anyway. I mean, at this point, bring back anyone you want if you can bring back Sierra. Even quitters like Nyanka and Colton can come back if they can bring back Sierra.
I hear it completely. That's the one we're most baffled about, and like Phil said, she is a replacement. So we have Zachary Valentine. Do you think they should have had Kyle Jason on season 34 instead of Caleb or Ty? Or is it better that he can maybe be saved for a better season later on? Totally the second part of that. I am so stoked that we didn't see Kyle Jason. He's one of those players that he comes back too soon. He's fresh in people's memories. Like Aubrey, this could happen to. Oh, I remember you. I just saw you. You were good at this game. You made moves. You had control. You had idols. Whatever. You're out. So I'm glad Kyle doesn't follow that fate. He could be on season 36 for all we know. They could just be doing every other season returnees or every third season. I think we see Kyle very soon.
I think he's a good one to save, though. I completely agree with you. It's like he's a player and a personality, whereas Ty and Devin just make personalities. And I'd rather see the Kyle. But, this comes back to what you said. If you do, a Legends-type season, how much Tony and Kyle running around on the same island? You know what I mean? Even Tony, Kyle, and Russell, if they wanted to bring back Russell for a Legends-type thing. That would be so much fun. Instead, I agree with you on the fact that we're seeing Tony with a bunch of why? Right. These are players that will likely go much farther than him, and then one of them will end up beating him, which I don't like. I love Tony. Should Rodney have been on this season? That's from Zachary Valentine. I think so. I'm a huge fan of Rodney. I think he's underrated as a player and probably underrated as a character. Someone who brings a lot of fun. He just said some things in his Boston accent about people's moms, and people cried about it, which is so sad. But he's hilarious. He's a hoot, unique personality, and I think he was a very strong player. So I would like to see Rodney. Yeah, he should have been over Brad. If you want to bring in that type of loud type guy, bring in Rodney over Brad. Come on. Right. And we have finalists versus jury versus pre-merge season is what the Crimson Unicorn is maybe saying. Only problem with that, we have 2 more castaways from season 33, bringing the total to 20. So not going to be a 3-tribe season. Would not at all be shocked, though, to see another tribe dissolve like we saw at Second Chance. That's actually becoming extremely likely. Yeah. We have Bill Jared Simpson. I'm not sure if this is relevant, but there was activity on Caleb's Twitter 4 hours ago. Could this be someone running his account for him? Or could he have gotten replaced by someone we don't know?
or he got voted out first and he's hitting Twitter. I don't know. I don't like playing that game.
Plus, they flew out yesterday or something. Like they don't start the game the day after.
Yeah,
so
they got to do.
I mean, it's too hard to predict.
I don't like looking at Instagram for weight loss for people. I mean, people get way too into like, let's figure out stuff. It's like that takes all the fun out of it. I just want to watch the show. Obviously, this commenter was saying maybe he got replaced, which is pertinent to what we're talking about. So not trying to rip the comment up. I'm just like, the more you look into that stuff, the more you just get caught in just ifs and ifs and ifs, and you don't really come up with anything conclusive. Squire Whitney want Ozzy to get voted out yesterday. They haven't started playing yet, so that's not possible. No. We get you. We agree. We agree.
Yeah.
Bill
Not
Jarrett.
excited.
By the way, some jackass spoiled something on 10. I don't even want to say who the spoiler is about. I don't touch that stuff. Son of Nuo. I think it will be a 3-try breakdown. Son of Nuo, we're sorry, it's not going to be a 3-try breakdown. He says legends came close but lost and colorful characters. That was his breakdown. He gave the 6 divisions. If you want to read his kind of fan fiction, go ahead and do that in the comments below. Some new then he says, granted, not sure where the 2 new characters fit. What's going on?
Let me say this. You just said fan fiction, and that's what this season feels like to me. This feels like something you go on Reddit, you go on Survivor Sucks, you go somewhere, and somebody pulls these 18 names out of their ass, and they put it up, and they say, I'm going to do a fan fiction. That's what this feels like. This does not feel like an All-Stars or a Second Chance or Heroes or an all-returning. This feels like a fan fiction where you just sit there and you're like, wait, why did they put Brad on there? Like, what? Why did they put – like, that's what this feels like. I'm glad you said the word fan fiction because that's what this feels like to me.
Very funny point. Good point. Good stuff, Phil. Totally hear you on that. Yeah, with Tony and Sarah being there, Caleb and Ty and Varner comes out. I mean, Troyzan. And that could be the only reason Sierra is on the season is because she's like fits some little – character niche that the fan fiction writer really needed, and no one could really perfect that like Sierra. That could be the only reason why she's on. We have Sydney Hill. If Sandra wins again, I will die. Well, Sydney, you are going to die regardless, so don't worry about that.
Wow.
But I agree.
Wow.
I mean, you know what? She might not die, depending on.
That got morbid fast.
We have the AI revolution coming very soon. Immortality is not out of the question. We might all be immortal within 20, 30 years. Who knows? So,
Sydney Hill also said it would be a good kind of death. So, I mean, hopefully Sandra wins that. So at least it's a good kind of death. Since you're going to die, says Will. Jesus. Now we're going to do our scary dark podcast. Did you skip Trav Herod?
I'm right. I'm reading them in order.
Yeah,
I got one. We have Tri Corby.
No, you skipped them.
I'm going through my email. Just hitting the arrows. Will Ty be Yowman 2.0 but get further than Yowman, or will Ty be pre-merger but not as early as Yowman? These Yowman Ty train comparisons got to stop. I know they're both Asian people that are little that can't speak English all that clearly, but that's as far as it goes. Their gameplay, their legacies. Everything else about them is not the same. So, I don't know. Would you want to compare them at all, Phil?
They're not comparable. Yao Man came with he was a great player. Time with target on his back because he's not. All right, Trav Herod. This is from Iowa. Will and I agree that Jim Rice needs another shot, and Carolyn should have been brought back over Sierra. I agree Jim Rice needs another shot. Carolyn definitely should have been brought back over Sierra. This is Sierra with an S. And then Trav Herod said, I could see them wanting Terry for a Blood vs. Water 3 with his son. The only problem is, would his son be cleared? Because I think that could be 100% them trying to get Terry back on with his son. That's a built-in story already.
There you go. That's fine. Do we have any more comments? I'm not seeing any more here.
I don't see anymore. I mean, Trey Corby did say, Phil, are you happy your girl won co-wrong? I mean, of course I'm happy my girl won co-wrong. She totally deserved it. All the outcries, after our last podcast, all the outcries about how Aubrey deserved to win and Aubrey deserved to win and Aubrey deserved the game. She did something right that won her the game, and she played a hell of a game. So happy Michelle won. Super pumped Michelle won. Think that it's annoying that something on her just because, we saw plenty of Michelle, just not what you guys wanted to see. She played the game and she won.
Yeah,
Huge fan.
People get mad when the winner's too predictable. It's like, and then now they're getting mad we didn't have enough reason for Michelle. They didn't paint her as a winner enough. Well, if they had painted her as a winner enough, then it's predictable. It's like you can't win if you're an editor if people are getting mad at a Michelle win. You really can't. So I'm in on Michelle too with you there, Phil.
Yep. Cool. We'll probably, the off season's just start. We're probably not going to talk about season 3-4 too much more, right? For like the rest of the summer. We'll probably do winter rankings, player rankings at some point. I really do want to do winter rankings and season rankings again. I think that'll be fun. We haven't done season rankings since like our first podcast.
Yeah, it's been a while. But I was just way more fresh on the rewatches for that podcast. I don't know. I don't think much has changed. The seasons haven't changed.
It's fun though, and we're so much more entertaining. The first time we weren't that entertaining. Now we can fit it all into one episode, make it relevant. Nobody's going back and watching that crap anymore. Come on.
I would you got to get the San Juan del Sur rewatch it. That's probably number one for me in the offseason.
Well, we got to do. Well, then let's do that then, because I put Michelle at number one.
Okay, well we'll figure it out. Thank you for listening. Make sure to, I guess you can keep commenting. Yeah, comment. Why not? We're not going to read them, but comment with each other. That's always fun. Sometimes there's some good debates going on in the comment section, and if there is a heated one, we'll definitely partake in the next podcast. Subscribe, like. Did I say that already? I probably did. So yeah, do that stuff. Phil, you got anything else?
If you're Adam Klein or Angus J, start bothering Will now. Sorry, Will.
Yeah, Adam Klein. Does he? He can get as many buffs as he wants at this point.
He should be sending them to us.
Yeah, he should send them to us so that we can send them to the other people. There we go. That's what I'll bug him about. All right. Thanks for listening.
Now we're thinking.